Okay, session 2, part 2. We're going to work through what we call or refer to as our bracing sequence, and then we'll do just some basic balance exercises using a small dumbbell. This bracing sequence is credited to Dr. Kelly Starrett, and it goes something like this. So it's about trying to get yourself into a position where you're most stable, where you've got stability through the body, and it's all about alignment. So when we think about posture, quite often we have people who've got potentially excessive kyphosis, forward head position, anteriorly tilted hips. This is a way of trying to address that sort of those common issues. So standing as you are, we'll get Anne to demonstrate. So feet directly under hips. First thing we do, let's create nice strong arches. So I want you to visualize the arches in your foot coming up nice and high. We're then going to get slight external rotation of the knees, which means turning these knees out a little bit. And what you should feel when you do that, if the feet stay forward as though you're screwing your feet into the floor, you should feel some muscles up around the hips start to activate. These deep hip stabilizers, they start to stabilize as we externally rotate and provide stability around the hip. From there, we're also going to get a squeeze through the butt, so squeeze the glutes, and what that does is that tilts the pelvis under and lines it up right underneath the rib cage. Let's take a big breath in. As you exhale, I want you to tighten up around your tummy muscles as though you've sort of got cloud wrap squeezing around, and then you don't have to have too much tension, but try and maintain that tension now as you breathe in and out. Then let's go arms out to the side, hands up nice and high. From there, turn your palms up, so we externally rotate the shoulder. And then drop your arms slowly to your side, but maintaining that externally rotated position. So the same principle applies where we externally rotate the hip for stability around through the glutes. We externally rotate the shoulders, just hold them down by your side. Externally rotate the shoulders to provide stability through the shoulder blades. Then the final piece of the puzzle there is to line the head right up on top of the thorax. So we draw the chin back and activate those neck flexors. Now, although you're not going to walk around and set yourself up in this position all the time and look a little bit crazy, you can still assume this position. So if Anne just relaxes, just relax. And then just get into that position without sort of putting the arms out. So as you can see now, she's still got that nice stable position, stable around the hips, nice high arches, nice lined up spine. This is something you can go through whenever you're at the line and the coffee shop or the bank or something. Have a look at the people around you. If you notice someone standing with some sort of slouched posture, that might be a cue for you to go, right, I'm going to go through my bracing sequence and just practice creating some, a position of real stability and alignment through the body. Great. So from there, we're going to apply that same principle, and we'll be talking about the bracing sequence throughout the whole program, because that applies to anything we're doing when we're standing up. We're now going to apply it to some balance work. So I'm going to get Anne a little dumbbell. Now I didn't say you need one of these in the program intro, because you can just use a can of baked beans or anything that's going to help influence your center of mass. Take that in your right hand. So for a bit of balance exercise, what I want you to do, Anne, is I want you to slowly try and go through your bracing sequence. Then if you can, slowly lift right leg up and just off the floor a little bit. So you shift your weight over to your left foot. And then from there, to challenge that position, I want you to take that weight up overhead, pass it to your left hand above your head, and bring it down to the side. Now, as you can see, Anne's balance is pretty great. She's done this a few times before, and she's got really good balance. If you find that you're unable to even lift your leg off the floor, there's another option to sort of reduce the intensity of that. So can you just take your right leg down, just touch your toe to the floor in front, a little bit further out there. So in that position there, she's still biasing that one side, so the left leg is doing most of the balancing work, and the left glutes are doing most of the balancing work for the pelvis. And she's still got nice core control for stability above the hip, and nice sort of shoulder support. So she's still able to practice using those muscles that are responsible for balance, but without having to worry about taking one leg off the ground the whole time. Let's change sides. So change legs. Coming up, making sure we're nice and set, and then away you go. Now I like to think of this sometimes when we're doing our balance exercise. If you've ever been out to some of those second-hand car sale places, and they got those blow-up sort of thing like this, advertising, that's essentially what core stability looks like. There's no core control, no support coming from the hips. So if you visualize that as you're doing it, you need stability below the hip, nice glute control, stability above the hip, and then through the shoulders, and that helps filter down all the way. Another really good practice for this is once again bare feet, because all those nerve endings on the bottom of the feet are connected up into the brain and back down, and they get better feedback from the floor without having to sort of filter through a foam mattress that is your shoes. Okay, so the next one, so that's moving, challenging your balance through what's called frontal plane. We're now going to challenge your balance through sagittal plane, which is forwards and backwards. So for that one, I might get Anne just to stand, if you can just face the other way, face to your right. Okay, from there, I'm going to get you to take the dumbbell in front of your left hip, and then that's the same leg that's going to be moving backwards as Anne hinges back on her right foot. So her chest is going to go forward, left leg is going to come backwards, other leg, left leg. Let's go the left down, and then the chest goes down. And so now she's moving sort of forward and back and come back up. And just take that weight, let that weight drop straight down, don't worry about taking it out far in front. So it just goes straight down to the floor. And as you can see there now, all that stability is taking place on one hip as she moves forward and backwards. So we don't want to just challenge the body through one movement plane. With these balance exercises, you can challenge moving forwards and backwards as well. Let's just do one more on that side. Nice work. Very good, moving back and forward. Great, notice how she keeps her chin down and tight the whole time. Now, as she moves on the other one, I just want you to demonstrate what you might be able to do if you can't take your foot off the ground. Just slide this foot back as far as you can and go down. So now she's still got that foot touching the ground when she needs to, and then she can come up if she wants to. Otherwise, if you can't even come off the floor, you can just slide it back as far as you like, and then slide it back in. Once again, you're still going to be biasing that one side, still challenging your balance. You'll feel the ankle and foot working pretty hard. Glutes should be working hard for this one. Maintaining stability, keeping chin tucked, nice spine alignment, up and down. Very good, let's just do one more. Fantastic. Okay. So those exercises, thanks Ed, those exercises are great for maintaining stability and postural alignment, and then you can challenge your balance pretty much anywhere, anytime. Anytime you just spend a bit of time on single leg is going to be beneficial in terms of challenging your balance. And once again, you can try and do it with bare feet to really start to work those sort of mechanoreceptors underneath the foot and the proprioception of the foot and ankle, and how that transfers sort of balance throughout the body. Okay, well done.